Hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm Tasha. This is Tasha Pivots, where I talk about all things mamahood and homeschool and how I'm pivoting through this journey. And today, after just much consideration, much anticipation, I really felt that it was needed that I do a Fervor update. Hey you, if you're new here, welcome to the channel. Thank you for hitting that play button today. If you're like, what is Fervor? I'm intrigued. And you haven't seen a couple of my videos just yet. Fervor is my baby. I started this last year as I sought after a need, not only in my own heart, but even for my children, to give them an opportunity to understand United States history with the perspective of African Americans. And so as I started gathering resources and building, I recognized that I was on to something, if you will, and that I hadn't really seen anyone else offering this in this type of style. So I created a unit study that is 12 lessons, and it is covering the first 100 years or so of our history. And I built it out so that you can be able to teach it to your children. And it's over on tashapivots.com, where you can check out Fervor, and it has its own tab with details, videos, and resources. And I wanted to kind of update everyone, since I've been I posted it, I shared it, and then we went silent. And so with that, I might have been silent on the front end, but on the back end, I've been working on content, working on trying to add more resources, what I can get approved for with sharing and get rights to, or shared rights to share onto my platforms. And so with that, this is just a small update. I'm sure there's going to be another one. On the site today, if you go to Fervor, you will see the actual, still what I had up there, which is the Fervor when you want to purchase it, has some details, but it also has some of the video content that I've created here on YouTube on my channel, but now it's over there so you can also check it out. So if you want to just sit and watch the video of the flip through, or you want to sit and watch the video of how I started to build out my interactive journal, you can check all those out over on my site. Also, I have these, I just added this PDF where this is all of your titles from each chapter from the Heart and Soul book that we are using to create the unit study. This is now where you can print these out, cut them out, and use them in your interactive journal. That it's already labeled. It starts off each chapter for when you guys are going through your lessons. And then I also have the book list listed there, as well as like the link that you can go over to my Amazon little cart thing, if you will, that I've created, where it has all the books that I have pulled, as well as some that I didn't even put in the book, but that I've just been adding along the way, so that whether your child is at a lower end of the second grade level, or they're all the way up to the 5th grade level wanting to do this unit study, they have resources that meet them at their age and at their maturity level. So there's that. Also, for me and my family, if you're asking and wondering, like, have I even started my own unit study? I have not. I took a pause as I was shifting everything from a semester system to quarter system. I felt that it would be best with where we're at right now, that we would start our curriculum, this unit study, Fervor, in April. So we will start that from April, May, and June. It'll be the last 3 months of the year. It is also around the time that we are actually going to be, possibly, depending on how the world turns out, going and traveling to DC, so that Zoe can do some actual footwork and see things in real time as she continues to build out her interactive journal. And so we mapped everything out to be towards the end of her 2nd grade year. And also, I'll know that her heart and mind is in a place where she can really take in some of these subjects. They are definitely going to be touchy. They're going to be difficult. There's going to be conversations that are going to be had. Some that we've already been having, but now on a much bigger scale, because now we're focusing in on these subjects and on these souls and lives of people that look like us and that don't look like us. So we're going to be doing that. And I encourage you, if you've already started, I am so excited for you. Please let me know how you're doing. If you have any questions, please don't be afraid to email me. My contact information is always in the description box below this video. You can find me at tasha@tashapivots.com, and I would love to answer anything as best of my ability, or even help you with anything that you may be struggling with when it comes to building this out. I want it to be as seamless and effortless as it possibly can. Also, I wanted to share with you guys, I have some books that I've added to my collection as I continue to build this out. These books are not used for us to do research, but it's used primarily for me to pull pictures and images. I found myself a little bit inundated of trying to find pictures and using a lot of ink to print, because I want my child to have as many depictions and things inside her interactive journal. And so I want to encourage you, like I've done in previous videos, like, I don't want anyone to have to break the bank, but the more you build up the resources and putting in this interactive journal, you're giving your child such an opportunity to see things in a visual way and a tangible way. Some things you can easily use amongst your house, and then some things you've got to kind of dig for. So I have a few books that I found at half price books. I didn't pay more than $10 for any of them. And if you can find thrift stores, or you can find places that sell like old images or old newspaper clippings, anything that you can gather during these time periods when we're going through the Revolutionary War, when we're going through Civil War, all of those things will entice and engage and bring your child into the subjects that they're learning. So with all that said, I have a few books here. The first one I have here is The Struggle of the Freedom. I'll link it below if you can be able to find it. I found it at half price. I liked the fact that it had some real depictions. I'm trying to get you one so I can show you. It has a real picture of Harriet Tubman. So if you needed one and you wanted to cut it out, you can do that. I like the fact that it even had a map of what the United States was really made up of in the beginning, before we had all of our states. And then even like there's a picture of Lincoln right there with the Emancipation of Proclamation. You can easily cut that out. Another one I had here that I actually found this in the adult history section, which I encourage you to do that too, because of course this won't necessarily always be found in the children's section. I have Memories of an Old Plantation Home, and this is actually based in Louisiana, and it's a true depiction and biography basically of a family from the plantation house to the slave house, of all these people that lived on this land in Louisiana. And it's called A Creole Family Album, and I just fell in love with all the depictions. Of course, it even shows like who the masters were, the slave master and the slave mistress. And I've already kind of, like you can see, I've cut out an image. They have real images of like the steel mills and the cotton fields, and I'm trying to find you guys proper pictures, but anything and everything that you can try to add into your storylines and your lessons as you are building this up with your child. I just want to highly encourage it. Now, the reason I have not put a bunch of images over on my site is because I don't have rights to them. And so that has been a little bit challenging, because I want to be able to make it easy for you guys, where you can just click and download and be like, oh, I like this image, or I want to use this. I can maybe just make a link bar for you guys, and maybe by the time this video goes up, I'll actually do that, and you can check it over on my site. I'll just have links of where I've found images, where I have found newspaper clippings to different things, and then encourage you guys to go ahead and check that out, and maybe that'll make it a little bit easier, so you're not having to do a search engine and then filling through a lot of things. Let me know, can that be helpful? If you have any resources or ideas where people can check out things, let me know. I appreciate you guys so much. I hope this update was answering a few questions, and also gave you guys a spark to even want to check out the Fervor unit study. It is still available, and it will not be coming down anytime soon. I am also working really hard to build the second half of this story. I believe that just learning the first 100 years is one thing, but we have a whole set of 50 years to add to that. And so I'm really, really excited to continue Fervor and build it out. I don't know what the release is to that yet, but that's going to go into what did it look like after Martin Luther King? What does it look like in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and even in the 2000s? So I thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Give this video a warm thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. Hit that red subscribe button if you haven't already. I'm so glad to have you here. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.